to start it. So hello everybody, this is Gretchen Hidell again. Welcome if you are just joining live. I'm starting the Facebook over again. Welcome. So let's see. Oh yay! Somebody, it looks like somebody joined. So whether it's your first time here or if you are a person who tunes in regularly, I love this. We have Almir. Welcome. Peace, Brother Light. Yes, welcome. I didn't forget about you, Brother Light. I got really overwhelmed here. Without add to, welcome. We have a bunch of people joining here on Instagram. I love that. And yes, Monica, hello. Rita, Virgo from Colorado. I love it when you guys post your astrological sign as well as where you're tuning in from. I would love to hear that. And we have a lot of astrological energy that kind of happened today even. And then also this is one of those weeks where there's kind of something going on almost every day. Oh, it's Lena. Hello, Lena. Welcome. I didn't recognize your name there, girl, on Instagram. And so if you're just joining on Facebook, welcome. Facebook is just getting up and running. I had to restart it again today. I don't know what's going on with that. So I'm just waiting for some people to join here. So Kathleen, Leo in Vermont. Hey, welcome for joining. Hey, the moon's in Leo right now. So we're going to be talking a lot about the moon signs this week. We have again 3 moon signs this week that we're going to be going through. So today at 8:44 a.m. Eastern time, the moon was in Leo this morning and is going to continue in Leo. So the moon will be in Leo for the rest of the day, Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday it's going to be in Leo, and then on Wednesday, we're going to be forming the first quarter lunar cycle. So how exciting is that? And that is what I call, and I've personally nicknamed it the second chance new moon. Okay, is when the first quarter lunar cycle takes place. That's going to be 29 degrees Leo. So we'll be talking about that. And then on that day, almost 5 p.m. Eastern time, so earlier than that if you're on the West Coast. On that day, the moon will switch into Virgo, and that's going to be on Wednesday. And then we'll do Virgo Wednesday at 5, Thursday, and then Friday. Okay, the moon will be in Virgo, just so you guys can plan. So if you're a Virgo, this is how you use this energy. Then you'll be feeling the feeling on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Or if you're another earth sign or whatever, you'll be feeling that moon. So it's really good to know where these planetary things are in your astrological chart. If Virgo falls in your house of health or money or some kind of a thing, that's basically what the deal is. And I am going to be talking about what the chart looks like this week. I have never done this before on this channel, so I figured I would do this. And by the way, whether you're watching it on Instagram or Facebook or pre-recorded or even on YouTube, go ahead over and subscribe to my YouTube channel for sure. Gretchen Hidell. I'm the only Gretchen Hidell that I know of on the internet, so that's pretty fun. You can always find me. So whichever way you like to watch these broadcasts, it's a good thing. So I've never actually pulled up the chart for the week, but I thought that might be fun to do for us tonight. And then on Friday at 9:35 p.m. Eastern time, the moon is in Libra. Libra on Saturday, Libra on Sunday, and then very, very 1 hour before midnight, 11 p.m., the moon switches to Scorpio. So we have roughly 3 moon signs going this week, and so it'll be, just recapping because a lot of people are joining live, it'll be Leo, Virgo, and then Libra this week. So those big 3 signs there. Melinda is joining from Williston, Vermont. Welcome, Capricorn. Kate from Chicago, hello. Courtney, Taurus. Yes, Courtney, happy post-birthday now. I think that was your birthday last week. Katrina, Sagittarius in Maine, welcome. Brian, hello. Brian's now joining on Instagram from Leo from Fillmore, California. So Brian, the moon is in Leo right now, so you'll be feeling your Leo for these next 3 days, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You'll be feeling the Leo vibes. So make sure you like and share, because that does help the algorithm. So if you hit that like button, that helps with the little hearts. So thank you everybody who's joining. So I'll just jump right into it. I don't know if you guys were feeling this or not. I have a little story. It's Gretchen's story time. Sometimes these things, you know, I say, oh, people are intense. People are intense right now because Pluto's active today on Monday. Now, last week we were talking a lot about the micro new moon. I don't know if you guys remember, we were going over that last week. That was in Taurus, that micro new moon. But remember when I said it was going to be like a kind of a sort of a contentious new moon because of that Mars sextile Uranus energy that was associated with that new moon? Well, unfortunately, that's when all the fighting started breaking out in the Middle East. Oh my goodness. I shouldn't say Middle East, but in Israel and all that. I mean, it's just, oh my gosh. It's just like, so even though that didn't really totally affect our country, although there was shocking waves that were, you remember Uranus is shocks, you know, something that's unexpected, and Mars is aggression and fighting. But we also had another shock. I think it was a shock. It was shocking to me where the CDC said we can just drop the masks if you're vaccinated. So I don't know. We have some like things going on that were reverberating in the ethers from last week, and so that's still kind of working its way out. But today we have the sun formed a trine with Pluto. Now you know what I say about Pluto. Pluto's intense, and sometimes I'll say, watch out, people might be intense today, and I kind of talked about that last week, but I ended up being that person. I ended up being the intense person today because late last night I had a little mini explosion in my kitchen. Just a little one. So yeah, that was a good time. So I was on the phone all day with different repair people and calling around, and it was actually my stove, and I'm fine, I'm safe, everything was good, but it was just, it sounded like someone set off a firecracker in my house. So I had some Pluto stuff going on, and that Mars sextile Uranus, you know, they were even talking about how the volcano might erupt again in Hawaii. You know, the day that Uranus went into Taurus was the day that basically the volcano erupted in Hawaii. That was back then, and now that Uranus is very activated, you know, you guys, if you've been tuning in the last 2 weeks, I've been talking Uranus each and every time of these broadcasts. So that's kind of like stuff that explodes. So I had a little mini Uranus thing going on in my oven this weekend, and so that was not fun. So on Monday today, I was the intense person, but maybe you guys were intense too, or you encountered an intense person today, because whenever Pluto is very active, I didn't even have a chance to look at the news, nothing before the broadcast. But oftentimes when when Pluto is activated, there's violence, and there can be some really contentious things going on. So hopefully everybody made it through today okay, and whatever that happened, that came to the peak and the height of it was actually 6 a.m. Eastern time, like 5:49 a.m. So obviously overnight if you're on the West Coast, but it doesn't matter, because you know those big planets will feel that all day, and the day before, and the day before that. So Pluto transits can be like that. They can be very intense, and it's deep psychological processes. Now we can learn a lot about ourselves with Pluto transits, because basically we're learning about our hidden unconscious patterns. But it's so ouchy. All those Pluto things tend to be ouchy. Jocelyn said, are you glad you're okay? Are your pets okay? Yes, but they were freaking out. They were barking, and oh my gosh, it was crazy. It was a little bit it's a little crazy. So Gretchen's fine. Everything's good. It just was one of those days I had to make a million phone calls, and you know, Monica said I had one of the worst nights of no sleep, and your elder friend had an appointment. Oh no, and you slept very poorly. Melinda said, glad you and your home are okay. Yeah, thank you so much, you guys. You know, I just share with you to let you know I'm not immune. Just because I can name these cycles doesn't mean I'm immune from the cycles. And some days I'm like, oh, those other people are going to cause problems. Well, today I was just intense. My energy was really, really high, just because I was trying to get things done. I went into Aries. I went into full Aries mode, like get it done. I'm gonna make this happen. Brian said the wasps. No, I didn't have any wasps, Brian. I had it was a gas. It was a little gas implosion thing that happened in my stove. So that was just not good. So dear brother Light, oh, thank you, sending healing thoughts and good energy. Thank you so much, dear brother Light. So basically that's what's happening today. Now, Wednesday is another very big day in astrology, and a couple things are going to be happening. So on Wednesday the 19th, and that's May 19th, 2021, we have the second quarter lunar cycle, like I was saying, where Leo, 29 degrees Leo, so Brian and the other Leos, I don't know if any other Leos are joining tonight. If you are, say welcome, say hi, hey, I'm a Leo, or a fire sign, Aries or Sagittarius. You guys will all be feeling it. The second quarter lunar cycle is the halfway point between the new moon and the full moon. Halfway in is the second lunar quarter cycle, and basically, or a first quarter lunar cycle, some people call it. And so basically I nicknamed it the second chance new moon, because if you forgot to write your new moon manifestation list, that is a good time to write it. Now, the halfway point between these two is always a time of just very, like, a lot of, like, stuff happening, like reevaluation and sort of analyzing and like pivoting and turning. So if you think of the lunar cycles in reference to farming, new moon is planting new seeds, full moon is harvesting. So the halfway point is like, do we need more water? Do we need more sunlight? Do we need better fertilizer? Like, what do we need for the plants? And that's a time to sort of reevaluate, like, your plans. And that's going to be on Wednesday. The peak of it, the height of it, the apex of it is 3:13 p.m. Eastern time, so 12:13 p.m. if you're on the West Coast, Pacific Standard Time, and it's going to be 29 degrees Leo, like I said. So really at the very end of Leo is basically what the deal is. So this is kind of where the planets are this week. I kind of printed out the chart. Sometimes I have political people I print out, and other people that, I was wanting to look at J-Lo's chart, because J-Lo's been in the news a lot with she's reuniting with Ben Affleck. I'm like, girl, it is not Mercury retrograde, and I don't know about that. I don't know about the the reuniting, but she's a Leo, so she's doing some stuff there. I don't know if Ben is a rebound guy or what's happening, but so anyway, so we got some Leo energy very activated. Monica said Leo with a Virgo moon and Virgo rising. Jacqueline, Leo. Hi, Jacqueline in Ohio. That rhymes with it. Brian said yuck. I don't know what you're saying yuck to, if you're saying yuck to Benifer, or what was that? Yeah, Benifer, Ben Affleck and Jennifer, or J-Lo, whatever. So anyway, so we have that going on Wednesday. And then on the same day, we have Venus forming a trine with Saturn around 10 p.m. at night. That's going to be, again, on East Coast time. Benifer, yes, Benifer. So speaking of romances, okay, so Venus is our love life, and then Saturn is make a plan, make a commitment, be serious, don't be frivolous. And they're going to be trine each other, okay? So it's going to be, Venus is still in Gemini, and then we have Saturn in Aquarius, and that's the air signs that are going to be activated. So if you are one of those signs, you'll be feeling this. So if you really think about it, on Wednesday, there's a lot of fire energy, and then there's also air energy. And remember what air does to fire, like what happened with my stove. So basically that's the thing. So so this air sign is going to really feed into that fire sign. So if you are one of the fire signs, again, if you are a Leo, or if you're an Aries or a Sagittarius, or if you're an air sign, including Libra, so Gemini, Aquarius, and then Libra. Libra's kind of the odd man out here, but still you will be feeling this much more. But if you are one of the signs that's incompatible with those two, like an earth sign or something, you might be feeling a little out of sorts. Now we are going to be moving into into an air sign season. So Gemini season is starting on this Thursday already. I can't believe like we're already like moving into Gemini season. So Gemini is a mutable sign. So if you think about, Brian said, wake me up when it's over. Monica put like a little fire icon. Brother Light, yes, you are right about that, my friend. X's are X's for a reason. Yes, a lot of people forget that. Sometimes even myself, I've been known to kind of revisit things sometimes, but it's never a good idea. Especially since Mercury retrograde is coming up. So we are definitely officially in the shadow period of Mercury retrograde. And we do have already a bunch of planets that are in Gemini. Okay, so the north node of the moon is in Gemini. Venus is in Gemini. Mercury is in Gemini. And now the sun is going to be in Gemini, okay, going this way. And the sun going into Gemini is going to just light this up even more, adding more air to what's already going on in the Gemini department. So that's a lot of Gemini. And so really there's 2, 4, 6, 8 of them, because the Gemini is the twins. So we got a lot of Gemini. The twins are all running around. They're all doing something different. One's on the swing set, one's on the seesaw, the other one's back lighting a fire. They're all kind of running around. So when Gemini season activates, things get very active. Now we still have some planets in Taurus, but we're kind of leaving behind some more, like we'll say, contentious planets in Taurus, where Taurus was like so grounded and nice. I like having that Taurus grounded, kind of stuff. I think it's good for all of us to have some grounding. But now we're not having grounding. We're taking float. We're going on a hot air balloon ride, and that's this Gemini stuff. So Gemini, like I said, so we're going to be late at night on Wednesday, and then going into Thursday, we're going to be feeling that Gemini energy, because Venus and Gemini will be activated, and that's our love life. So, but we're looking for commitment. But if you think about it, Gemini, not to say Geminis can't commit, but Geminis take their time committing usually. They are hard to sort of commit. They tend to be a little bit of the commitment phobes of the zodiac, or just people that don't like to be bored. They don't like to do the same thing. I mean, I know a lot of Geminis that marry other Geminis, and I think there's a reason for that. Like, I mean, that's a lot of Gemini. But I do know Geminis that marry other Geminis, just because it's like there's a lot of energy there, and they can do that with each other. Where I do think sometimes Geminis wear out the other signs a little bit. Geminis definitely, you guys tend to be very active and very like social and curious and all that stuff. So definitely with Mercury going on in Gemini right now, and of course we are in the retrograde, we call it a pre-retrograde shadow situation, because Mercury's coming into formation of getting into alignment with being retrograde, and that's going to start at the end of the month on Saturday the 29th. Mark your calendars. Mercury's gone retrograde. So, but our communication, this is basically Gemini is the ruler, the natural ruler of the third house. Okay, and so in astrology, this is all about communication, writing, texting, emailing, faxing, if anybody faxes anymore. Just kind of like putting it out there. So if you have to write or speak or teach or give a presentation or do any kind of thing like that, this is the time to do so. You know, I mean, Gemini season's like prom season and graduation season. I mean, like if you think about it, I mean, that's all the happenings. Memorial Day is Gemini season. All the stuff is Gemini season where, you know, even though it's Memorial Day and some of us, I guess, honor that and go to the cemetery and remember those that lost their lives. A lot of times people just look at Memorial Day as a day to barbecue and that kind of thing and be social. Basically, that's the Gemini way, is to be social and have all these mixers and graduation parties and celebrations and different things like that. So that is, and if you think about it, Gemini is also a mutable sign. So what that means is that it's a sign where literally when we look at the seasons of the year, literally this is a transition season. So we're going from spring to summer now. This is, so whenever the sign is in a mutable modality, that's what's happening, is the seasons are literally changing. So if you think about mutable, it's like this. It's go with the flow, just kind of do this or this or this or this, you know, that's kind of the way that Gemini sort of rolls anyway. So that's sort of the thing that's very important to keep in mind. We're going to need to be flexible and curious and probably accept a lot of invitations to parties and different things. Now, Gemini is super flirtatious. So Venus is still in Gemini, even though Venus is meeting up with Saturn on Wednesday. It wants a little bit of a commitment, a little bit more of like, where do things stand? Not just what we call a situationship. Okay, so maybe J-Lo will be asking, I don't know, Ben Affleck for a commitment, or maybe he'll ask her for a commitment. Who knows? I mean, we don't know what the dynamic is. Maybe she's using him as like I said, a rebound or a boy toy or something. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll have to see, because, you know, this is what happens when we start getting into the retrograde seasons. We start revisiting the past. And so, speaking of retrograde, I have a couple more things I want to go over before, I'll just start talking about it. I'll just segue into it and I'll circle back. So, when we look at Saturday, that's when Saturn goes retrograde. So, Saturday is Saturn retrograde in Aquarius. That's an air sign. And then, like I said, on the 29th, we have Mercury in Gemini going retrograde. So we have two retrogrades coming up, big retrogrades. And then in the middle of that, next Wednesday, not this week, but next week on the 26th, we have our very first eclipse. So we're getting into eclipse season as well. And that's going to be in Sagittarius, which is opposite of Gemini. So there's a lot of energy going on right now, especially, like I said, the last week of May, we're going to have big downloads because of the retrogrades and the eclipse and everything. So it's really important to ground ourselves. Tax filing too. Yes, I guess. Well, technically right now, I guess is tax time. I'm not sure. So, I think that tax time is mostly in Taurus season. But right this year, I think it's extended right until May 17th. And so, but that's still technically Taurus time is taxes. And Taurus is Earth, and that's also rules over money. So it kind of makes sense. Oh, they're extending it to the 19th, May 19th. I thought it was the 17th. So, okay, well, that's good to know. Oh, today was the deadline. My mother is a bookkeeper, so Monica said it's the last day. Okay, so today was the last day. Okay, got it. So we can't do anything about that, right? Dear Brother Light said Hollywood equals U.S. royalty. Yeah, so today, so we're still technically in Taurus season, just for a few more days until we get into Gemini season, but we are headed there on the 20th. So that is the entrance, okay, from we're going from springtime, and then eventually at the end of Gemini season, it ends officially with the summer solstice. So that's when the sun goes into Cancer, and that'll be next month. So we're coming into almost summertime here. So that's the thing. So, all right. So Friday, I just want to talk really quickly about the rest of the week. Friday, the sun is going to form a square with Jupiter. That's going to be 11:03 a.m. So earlier than that, if you're on the West Coast. and that's going to be on the 21st, May 21st, Sun square Jupiter. That one, it's interesting because it's a square, but really it's a lovely square. Like Friday might be really kind of enthusiastic feeling. That's the sort of, I guess, downside, if you want to look at it as a downside with Jupiter, is that we can sort of overcommit. We got to learn to say no. It's like there's nothing that stops it. Like the sun is big, huge, and expansive. It's the biggest, star in our solar system, basically. And then Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system. So combine those two with the big expansiveness of Sun squared Jupiter. The big thing with that is drinking too much, eating too much, whatever your, Achilles heel is, too much TV, overcommitting, saying too much, putting your foot in your mouth, all that kind of stuff can be that Sun square Jupiter on Friday. So just make sure, I like to say when Jupiter's active, like when someone says to you, hey, can you do this? Do you want to sign up for this? Or do you want to make, just say, oh, I have to think about that, or I have to check my schedule. So you can put the brakes on yourself and give yourself a minute, because the problem with Jupiter and the sun together is like, yes, we'll do it. No problem. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, when am I going to have time to do that? It's like, and especially since even the next day on Saturday, that's on May 22nd, Mercury in Gemini is going to form a square with Neptune in Pisces. And that's going to be at 10:43 p.m. or Eastern time, or 7:43 p.m. on the West Coast. And that's going to just be like something that's confusing. Somebody, at the worst, Mercury square Neptune can be somebody lying. Okay, on Saturday. So you really want to watch that, okay, especially signing contracts on a Saturday, if you're buying a house, if you're buying a car, if you're doing any kind of a thing, big purchase. Now, yeah, we want to get those things out of the way before Mercury retrograde comes, but we want to make sure that we don't, on Saturday, things could be a little dicey, because, sometimes somebody could say something and it might be misconstrued. Not even that they're lying, but like that we didn't understand what they meant, or they didn't understand what we meant. There can be some kind of element of confusion. Also, when Neptune's activated, just remember, we all feel a little sleepy on Saturday. So Saturday might be like a chill out, go to bed, that kind of thing. Now, positively speaking, Neptune does bring often a wave of creativity. But if you think of like a painter that's painting all day and very creative, but has no sense of time, that's Neptune. Okay, so it's good if you do anything with creativity for a business. But if you're doing like really linear things, like I said, contracts, or communication, or any kind of thing like that, that you have to watch with. And outright, just plain old outright, when Mercury forms a square with Neptune, literally somebody could lie. I mean, that's like a liar sort of transit. So you want to watch that whoever you're dealing with on Saturday is up to par. Okay. Now, like I said, that's the day before, on the 23rd, we do have Saturn going retrograde. And then I want to get into some questions and things you guys have about either this, or if you guys have any questions for me about what's going on this week, or coming up in the future. But we have Saturn going retrograde. It's the first time I think it's going retrograde in Aquarius, other than last year when we had that little preview of Saturn in Aquarius, but it's like the first big sort of retrograde time. Now, Saturn is retrograde every year during the summer months for like about 5 months at a time. So it'll be traveling backwards in Aquarius. So now we're going to be revisiting all the things that we started in Aquarius. I'm just feeling like we might have like, there might be a take back with some of the CDC recommendations, like they kind of put it out there and then raveling it back in. Also, there might be some news on the, online or in the paper over the next 5 months or so about vaccines. I don't know if you guys remember, but I did predict, okay, like even when COVID first kind of came out and was a thing, I did predict that there was going to be a vaccine and that the vaccines were coming very quickly. At that time, they were saying vaccines could take years and years and years to develop. So just to let you know. And I also said on August 22nd, well, I found out there was a big thing that happened on that day of 2020, August 22nd, 2020, that Pfizer did some kind of share selling or something. So there was a big thing that happened on that day. And that was when the day I kind of predicted that we would hear something big about a vaccine coming. So that actually all came true, okay, just for the record, because I know I talk a lot about, I almost thought about putting together a montage, a video montage. I don't know how to do that, though, because I actually don't know how to edit videos. If anybody knows of any good editing software, let me know. I don't have a Mac, so it has to be PC friendly. But anyway, Brother Light said, count on the CDC backing off. Yeah, I do think they might like renege or take it back. But we also might hear about some kind of problem or some kind of a thing going on with the CDC, with the vaccines themselves. There might be some kind of a thing going on because we're getting into retrograde season. So Jupiter's going retrograde soon. Pluto's is retrograde now. Mercury's going retrograde. Saturn's going retrograde. Like we have all these retrogrades starting because that's this time of year, and that's going to be the thing. So we have a lot going on, and I think there's going to be now reevaluation. Like all this time was go, 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 go in the last few months, and now it's like, oh, wait a minute, we got to rethink this. I got to like do this thing differently or whatever. That's what retrogrades are for. Retrogrades are for, like I was telling you guys last time, just get it started, just get it started, just get it started. Whatever it is, get it started. And then you can always figure it out during retrograde season. Because it's review, reevaluate, revisit, refigure things out, okay, is basically what the retrograde season is for. So it depends on where Saturn in Aquarius is in your astrological chart in order to know how that will affect you on a personal level. But I will just say that it's in Aquarius. So if you can think about Aquarius, it's going to be interesting. So it's going to definitely be, somebody said, my mom said, Rita said, any government issues. Yeah, I think that's all going to be revisiting the stuff. I really think it's going to end up, we're going to be revisiting the technologies and all the new, because I said this was going to be the next 2 years of medical science breakthroughs like we've never seen. But the problem is it's going to come at such a rapid pace. We're just going to like sort of throw it all out there and then resort, I think is what's going to end up happening is we'll resort through all of that stuff. So it's going to be interesting. Now, the only planet right now that's actually in Aquarius is Saturn. Just to let you know, the Aquarius, if you're looking at your own astrological chart, is the little wavy lines. Okay, that's the symbol for Aquarius. So you want to find where Aquarius is and where Saturn is. And most charts will tell you what house it's in. So on this particular chart that I printed, it's the 9th house, but whatever house it's in, and then that'll tell you how it'll affect you on a personal level. So I think it'll be just something interesting. Let's see. Somebody said, Andrea said that they're going to basically reopen and then take it all back. I'm not quite sure for one reason or another because of variants. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that's going to end up kind of happening. Like I said, I think the CDC is actually going to respond because I think there's going to be another little mini explosion in the country throughout the world of COVID again. However, it's not going to be like what we were seeing. That's the good news. But I actually feel like there's just a really strong rebellious nature now. We can't forget that we are still under the Saturn square Uranus thing that's going to be continuing to happen. The height of it, remember, there's 3 this year. We already had one in April. We're having another one on June 14th. That's the height of this Saturn square Uranus. I've been talking about this since the beginning of the year. Saturn square Uranus is all about revolution. It's all about change. It's all about rebellion. It's all about protesting, and it's all about, kind of, fighting against the government, fighting against the man. It's like a lot of fighting energy. And so I do think we might, it never really calmed down. I've been feeling like racial equality is like a big thing. Also, gay rights and gay marriage, another big thing, another big transgender rights, basically human rights, there's so much like things going on with that. And I remember I was telling you guys, Saturn square Uranus, Saturn was conjunct Uranus in the 1960s. So if you think of the Black Panthers and the Vietnam War and all the protesting and all that stuff, so that's basically, we're getting like another like kind of thing, only this time it's square. So square is like they're fighting against each other. Uranus wants to break free from any kind of repression or oppression, where Saturn wants to stay the course, stay, the old way, do the old way, the tried and the true. And those two are clashing right now. So, and that's going to happen all throughout 2021, the whole year. So we're going to get the second hit of it is coming in June, but we'll be feeling it right now. It's active right now. It's active mostly all year. It's just kind of coming in and out of being a peak. That's kind of the way you want to look at it, but it's active behind the scenes the whole year of 2021. So it's quite interesting. So Saturn is again in Aquarius. Now it's going retrograde, and then also it's squaring Uranus in Taurus. So it's good to know where is Saturn, where is Uranus in Taurus in your astrological chart, and then you'll know what your personal revolution is. Okay, because a lot of us are having our own personal battles right now. And so that's kind of working its way out. And, it's interesting. So that's all going to be activated. So Saturn is basically going retrograde. And when it does, it'll square Uranus again. And hey, Kristen, how you doing? Sagittarius in Vermont. Brother Light said, interesting about Saturn square Uranus. Yeah, I mean, it's powerful. And by the way, the last time that Saturn was in Aquarius, was actually when the development of the WWW, World Wide Web was, basically the internet was born under Saturn in Aquarius. So remember, I told you guys all, like this 2 years that Saturn is in Aquarius, during this 2-year period of time, there's going to be a lot of like new technology and developments, and we're going to be even further and deeper into the digital world, like as if we weren't already. I mean, I thought we were, and then COVID hit, and I was like, oh, because I was looking and I'm like, how could we actually get deeper into the digital world? Because we're already living a digital life. Most of us have our phones and are glued to our hand, And then when COVID hit, everybody went inside and they started Zooming and doing like videos and different things. And that's basically how this whole thing has been playing out. So we're just going to keep going deeper and deeper into it. I keep hearing people going, well, I can't wait for things to return to normal. That's normal means pre-COVID. We are always now going to be living a different new life. It's not going back. It's like when I said, I was sort of liking it to 9/11. When 9/11 hit, by the way, during a Saturn and Uranus opposition, I believe. See, when Saturn and Uranus fight with each other, big things happen. So when 9/11 happened, forever now, we fly differently. We always have the TSA. We always have our bags inspected. We always have, enhanced licenses and different things we have to do to travel. So one of the big hot topics during this time is the vaccine travel passport. Okay, so that's going to be a hot topic coming up. And I did say it was going to be something like that. It was going to be something where it was like before the event, and then after the event is totally, how we fly, how we travel, how we do all that has changed. The Homeland Security, that was even born out of 9/11 really. So it's interesting. So it's, that's kind of the same sort of pattern astrologically we're in now for the next 2 years. So it'll be quite fascinating, but especially this year, because this year is like the peak of that Saturn, Uranus thing. So we're just gonna have to keep on keeping on. So, anyway, we're gonna start to feel that brother light said too much government control, and many people are gonna feel that way. And so what's gonna happen is we're gonna want to break free from those chains. Uranus always wants to break free no matter what. Uranus is the freedom lover, the rebellion, the little bit of the anarchist, okay? And then Saturn is like the, sort of very conservative, old way of doing things. And that's that's going to be trying to break free this whole year. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But Saturn being retrograde, we do this every year. I don't feel like we acutely feel Saturn retrograde for all 5 months. Usually we just feel it for a few days or a week, and then it kind of goes. But I can feel it because I feel like things are a little harder right now. Saturn's hard work. Okay, so again, it depends on where Saturn it lives in your chart. It looks like this symbol right here. Okay. And then you can find it in your chart and see how it's affecting you. But even if you don't know your chart or you don't have a copy of it, just know that it's hard work. It's our spiritual work. It's our literal work, and it's hard. Saturn's just always hard work. So, usually we'll feel it. We'll feel it like things starting to slow down, and then it's like, God, why is everything so hard? That's usually what I hear people saying when they're talking. They're like, why is everything so hard, Gretchen? I'm like, because Saturn's activated. Saturn's, going retrograde, and he's slowing way down, okay? Now he's going to stop, on over the weekend, he won't even be moving. So if you want to actually make strides and get anywhere, it's going to be like riding on the back of a turtle. So that's basically what the deal is for this week in astrology. And I would love to answer some questions if any of you all have questions. Anything that you want me to talk about, or anything about this or your own personal life, I'd be happy to answer. If not, I'll just pull a card for this week. But the one saving grace is that even in the middle of all of these, the stuff slowing down and getting hard and all that, we still have some liveliness with the Gemini. Now, Gemini can run around with a chicken without its head on. That's a gruesome saying, but it's a very sort of energetic. Sometimes it's not always super specific and clear, but it does move a lot. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. Oh boy. Somebody's got allergies. Monica, you got, I feel like you have a seasonal allergy. And I do feel dairy will help you with that. Stinging nettle tea helps with that, Monica. I am feeling all inflamed in here, your throat, your passage. I do feel like you will need it would be good to do some nasal flushes and things like that, but I just feel like you kind of have chronic allergies. It feels like a seasonal allergy feeling to me, but I do feel that dairy kind of exacerbates it. Okay. They say, in metaphysical studies, that basically the energy of nasal and sinus is somebody that's annoying or irritating to you. Okay, so the card is saying be courageous and stand up for your beliefs, Monica. Okay, so I just pulled a card for you. But I feel like, it feels like it's all in here. I just feel like it's a seasonal thing. Stinging nettle tea is really good for that. Honey, though, usually honey needs to be taken well in advance to build up the immunity. Yeah, so I hope that helps. But I do feel like it's something, I have to say there is a little bit of a mold feeling. I don't know if you have any mold in your house, or if you just have an allergy to, like, let's say pollen, spores, like mold spores, because I mean, like, technically speaking, mold, like, you know that smell. I had to take a mold class one time. I used to sell real estate, and that fresh smell after you know it rains. Well, that's actually mold. The mold guy told us that. He said, yeah, he's like, I'm sorry to say, that sweet, like somewhat of a sweet smell. It's like all the fungi and everything in the forest kind of opens up and you like smell that smell. That's basically mold and fungus. So, yeah. So, I feel like that feeling around you, Monica. I hope that helps. But yeah, I mean, acupuncture, I think, is very helpful. Also, I know you said that might be good. Okay. Dear Brother Light, you know, that's a great question. He was asking if there will be healing between Israel and Palestine. I don't think for a long, long time. Woo! Wow. Okay. There's a lot of cards just... Okay, gifts from God. Gifts from God. Okay, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a long time, but there might be a ceasefire coming. Remember, we have one thing that could be good here, and I meant to pull up the map and I forgot. But one thing that could be good here with the Israel-Palestine thing is that the eclipses are coming, and sometimes the eclipses bring transformation and can really like reverse situations. Even though eclipses can be also very, very intense, they can reverse it. So the card about Israel and Palestine are gentleness and gifts from God. So perhaps something comes and there's like some sort of like a ceasefire or some sort of thing that happens, gifts from God. I'm hoping so, because I feel, I mean, it's just, I'm feeling the reverberation from it. It's really a lot. I'm sure you guys that are sensitive are feeling it as well. Oh, Monica said, working in produce, soil, and plants. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's just in the air right now. We really do have a lot. Petrichor, Jane Moonwolf. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. The word for the smell after rain is called petrichor. I have never heard that, but that's awesome. Yes. Okay, so, oops. Let's see here. Kathleen wanted to know, she had a medical procedure today, and somebody else wanted to know about vaccine, if there was any good days coming up. Now, here's the thing. I'm not like sometimes I tell people don't do a new thing, okay, on Mercury retrograde, but I don't feel like that's really that big of a factor looking at that. You know, if you're talking about getting vaccinated, I probably would avoid Wednesday if I could, because it's just so much energy in one day. It's not a terrible day, but it's not like super awesome sauce. Wednesday just is kind of more like a little bit of a harsher energy. And I probably would avoid the eclipse, the full moon eclipse on the 26th. That's like 2 days that I would definitely avoid. Today I would avoid too, if you had to get a vaccine today, just because of Pluto. Pluto's just such a pain in the you know what. All right, so one day really to look out for is June 5th. Just to let you guys know, on Saturday, June 5th, Mars is going to form an opposition to Pluto on that day, and I am not looking forward to that day. That is going to be, wow, really, really bad. You know, when we talk about violence, when we talk about Israel, we talk about the United States, we talk about anything like Mars opposing Pluto, because Mars is in Cancer, Pluto's in Capricorn still. That is going to be a really ouchy day. So I would try to stay away from the 5th, June 5th. So I wouldn't even do it the 3rd or the 4th. If you can avoid it, and then, you know, try to get a good time to schedule. And someone was asking me about the vaccines. And plus Mercury will be retrograde then. So I don't know if you could put it off on those couple of days. I think it would be good. Monica said it's year-long chronic, but I do feel there's a seasonal component, but I also feel there's a dairy issue. So a lot of people are answering Monica. Yeah, Brother Light said hoping for a ceasefire. I hope so too, but my problem is that Mars Pluto thing. I think that's bad. So Kathleen, I wanted to get back to you. You had a medical procedure today. Kathleen, I'm very sorry. Oof. I'm giving myself a neck ache here, bending over. Keep getting all these flying out cards. Oh no, Jacqueline's flying on June 5th. Wah, wah. Sorry, girl. I just say it like it is. People try to negotiate with me. I think it's so funny. You didn't do that, Jacqueline. I'm just saying people in general. They'll say, well, what if I do it on Friday night, like before midnight on the 4th, and blah, blah. They start, like, I'm in charge of that. Like, I just report. I'm not in charge of the energies. I'm just the reporter of energies. Okay, so Kathleen, let me get back to you, okay? Because I don't know why, but I feel like something happened in the lower region, bladder, uterus, ovaries, colon, something in that lower abdominal region. I'm just sort of feeling like there's something going on there. It feels activated or highlighted to me, Kathleen. So let me just see what's going on there with your healing. Whew, you got a lot. You got, Kathleen, I don't know if you're still on. If you want to comment, if you're still on. But I feel like you need to do some repair work around your relationships. There's something going on with your relationships. I feel like there's some kind of past trauma or some sort of thing going on in that area. See, if you look at that lower region, that's like sacral chakra, that's root chakra area. And I feel like there was some kind of past trauma or some sort of thing. Hi, Kathleen, I see you. That is kind of acting up. So just to clarify, in metaphysical, we look at like sort of emotional causes and things where on a cellular level you're holding sort of energy, or you're storing energy, or energy's not flowing as well as it should be. And I kind of feel like there's something with that, because my whole like lower sort of abdominal region is lighting up right now. So I would look at that. I would look at like relationships, because you're getting like you got a lot of sensitivity here. Your tissues in your body are extra sensitive. You have a lot of emotions this is bringing up for you. This is like emotional kind of stuff. And you're getting the need for relationship harmony. So I feel like around you there's been some like sort of stagnant stuff around an emotional kind of thing, like that's pertaining to that department. So what I would do is a lot of like, I feel like you need to do like a lot of clearing, a lot of cleansing. Obviously I can't give you medical advice. I'm just saying from an intuitive standpoint. And I feel like a juice cleanse or some sort of doing like a lot of greens and whatever to flush out the system, I feel like would be a good thing. But I know due to it being a sensitive or a personal area, I know you might not want to talk about it online, and I totally respect that. But that's kind of what I feel. So I would just keep doing some work around that trauma, because I feel like that's kind of, I'll say this as an example, and I'm not saying this is what happened to you. I'm just using this as an example. I literally have 3 clients that have had anal fissures that were raped. 3 clients, and they were raped badly. Like, it wasn't like, it was very, very traumatizing, like ending up in the hospital situation. So, and then they ended up having anal fissures now. So if you think about that area of the body, that's the root chakra, that's safety, that's security, that's needing to be safe or wanting to feel secure. That's that deep, deep red color. So when you're looking at healing up that area, like I have, like a deep, I think this is, I can't even remember what this is. I think it's a ruby or jasper or something. But something like that, or a carnelian is another good one. Even those dark stones that I'm always talking about, the the black stones. This is hematite, this is onyx, any kind of thing like that, Kathleen, can help you. Also, I can put you on my list to do Reiki. I happen to know a lot of Reiki people that are online right now. So if you guys can send Kathleen some prayers and some Reiki for healing. She had a medical procedure today. She needs to take care of her emotional. But so if you guys can send her Reiki or prayers, that would be great. So yeah, so I'm going to pull one card for this week, okay, for what do we all need to know, okay, for this week coming up, with the big first quarter lunar cycle coming on Wednesday. Yeah, if you guys are sending Kathleen prayers, can you guys comment and just say that you're sending prayers to Kathleen, because I feel like that would help her lift her spirits, especially since she had a medical procedure today. Okay, so let me see if there's any questions here. Dear brother, trauma, yeah, bloodstone. Oh, okay, yeah, bloodstone would be good too, I think, as well. Yeah, Kathleen is loving this. She's saying, yes, please send Reiki, please send prayers. Is it this deck, Andrea, are you asking about this deck? This is Archangel Gabrielle, and this is Doreen Virtue deck. KT Wembley, yes, saying prayer symbol for Kathleen. So also people on Instagram and on Facebook are praying for her. Yes. The one with the lion. Ooh. Oh, this one here? My star cards, that's Linda Goodman's star cards. Somebody's asking me about my deck. Okay, well, I love all of you. I hope you guys have a great week. I'm going to pull one card, okay? What does the universe need us all to know, okay, this week about the week coming up ahead, this Gemini energy, how we need to stay grounded, and then the first quarter lunar cycle in Leo. What do we need to know? What's the most important thing we need to know going forward into this week? Yeah, so funny, because I know, you guys saw me. I was switching decks, okay? And I pulled this card for Kathleen, and now I'm pulling it again in a different deck. See, this is what happens. A lot of times, my deck is trying to fall apart here. It's going into an avalanche of cards. Okay. It's going to be 52 or 78 pickup, okay, after the broadcast is over. This is the card of sensitivity, if anybody can see that. And this is Archangel Gabrielle. Okay, your sensitive feelings are your muse and inspiration for your creativity, okay? So when I pulled the card of sensitivity, us sensitives, us empaths, us light workers, us, if you're a sensitive sign, if you're a Pisces or a Cancer or Scorpio, like the water signs are very sensitive people, empathic people, but really you can be sensitive and be a Leo too. I mean, if you're an empath, if you're a light worker, if you're a starseed, if you're any one of those folks, and you're just real sensitive as a person. Sensitivity does not mean weakness, by the way. It just means openness, that you feel things on a deeper, more visceral level. This is saying that we might be feeling a little bit more sensitive this week, okay? And so we need to ground ourselves. And like I always say, these dark colored stones, I wear the dark stones very often for protection. I wear my onyx, I wear this is a labradorite, so this is a blue one, but I'm wearing my hematite and all the dark colored stones. Getting out and actually going for walks, grounding yourself, being close to nature, getting your feet in the lawn, getting your feet in the sand, really connecting with Mother Earth, okay, so that we can discharge some of that energy, because we have a lot of extra energy right now. If you notice, when I was talking about this week, it was almost every day except for Tuesday that I mentioned something was happening, okay? So Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all those days have big astrological things. It's almost every day there's something. So whenever that happens, during a week, it's really important to remain solid, grounded, even when my, you know, my stuff was going on yesterday with my stove, you know, it's like I got to ground now back into my body and myself and get things accomplished and whatever, but also to know that my angels were obviously looking out for me and protecting my pets and all, you know, everybody in the house. But it's also a sign for me to not ignore a problem. So there's obviously a problem there. So that's kind of the way it is. Like you want to kind of be more grounded and centered, as well as you're going to be moving through and taking care of stuff, because I will just tell you, we are headed into the retrograde season and we want to kind of get more things accomplished before they fully hit. But Saturn goes retrograde. And that's going to be retrograde for 5 months. So we don't hold up our life for Saturn retrograde, just to let you know. But Mercury retrograde, on the other hand, is definitely something you want to use those 3 weeks. It happens for 3 weeks, 3 times a year, to basically finish old tasks. I mean, if you really get into that, you know, Mercury retrograde kind of thing where you're just completing, you know, old things that you really needed to take care of, and you sort of cease on initiating a lot of new things, it actually really does help to pace out your life quite nicely. It's like, okay, we're going to pull over on the rest area, and then we're going to go through the trunk, and we're going to reorganize, and we're going to get more fuel, and we're going to do all these things. That's kind of the way you treat Mercury retrograde. So when you start to plan your life and you sort of time it with the blessing and the timing of the universe, it actually kind of works out well. I know a lot of my clients are like, yeah, I actually like Mercury retrograde because then I get stuff done and I clear off my desk and I clean out my closet and I do all this, you know, organizational stuff. So anyway, I hope that helps. So remember, we're all going to be feeling a little extra sensitive this week, and so take care to ground. And no, you're not crazy. Okay, that's the other thing. That's why I love astrology. It's like tells us like, no, you're just going to be feeling a little extra this week. You're not crazy. You're just experiencing the energy of the planets and of the cosmos and of society. Okay, so all right, sending you all out loves, lots of love, hugs and kisses. Happy graduation, Almir. Okay, and for those of you that are graduating and moving into the next phase of life, very good job. Happy graduation. And I will see you all same time, same place next week.